Hello guys, welcome back to our channel. Most Nigerians are either clamoring for two things. It's either they're clamoring for restructuring of this country called Nigeria, or they are clamoring for secession, as they seem that a whole lot of Nigerians, not all, most of them are saying that the country looks towards is actually failing. Nothing seems to be working. Some persons have decided to take a sweep at some of the leadership already in the country. But as we speak, where the southwestern region with their social cultural group have decided to say what is already in their mind, and they have not hidden their mouth at all, and they have made up their mind to speak the truth, and they're actually twin in line with a lot of Nigerians, a lot of social cultural groups, a lot of region who are asking for the needful. Obviously the recession is already glaring to all and sundry, and they're wondering, are you sure Nigeria will come out of this, despite the fact that the federal government is giving positive vibes? We had the positive vibes before they came into leadership. How are we sure that this again will not be propaganda? But before we go into the news proper, to find out what this particular group, I'm talking about the southwestern states, are saying, we'd like you to subscribe to our channel by clicking on the red subscribe button. Beside it, you see a bell notification icon. Please go ahead, click on it to get notified as soon as we update our channel on YouTube. Well, the pan-Yoruba social political group Afenifere has again raised the alarm that Nigeria is on the brink of imminent collapse. The group stated this during its national leadership caucus meeting held at the country home of its leader, Pa Ruben Fasoranti, in Akure, the Ondo state capital. According to Afenifere, in a communique issued at the end of the meeting, the country had virtually become ungovernable, and unless it is restructured and restored to federalism, it will collapse. While railing out the communique, the National Publicity Secretary of the group, Yinka Odumakin, said as Nigeria enters the worst recession in 33 years and the second in 5 years of President Muhammad Buhari, we are equally besieged by attendant poverty, hinged as well as insecurity worsening across the land, with kidnappers, armed robbers and bandits on the prowl, and government helpless and unable to govern effectively. And nobody should take this country on any childish ride. We should just implement the report of 2014 conference now. While accusing President Buhari of placing his kinsmen of northern extraction above other Nigerians, Afenifere called for the immediate opening of semi-borders and other borders within the southern part of the country. Meeting condemned Buhari's government attitude of a dog that breastfeeds its own puppies and kills other animals for lunch as per management of borders. While the semi and other southern borders have been closed for a year now against our people and recently opened for the use to Dangote, and BUA Bua Nigeria is constructing a rail line and about 30 billion naira highway to connect with Fulanis in Niger Republic, with whom the Fulanis running Nigeria have cultural kinship. We reject this Apärthëid policy and demand the reopening of Seme and other southern borders now. During the meeting, the group also frowned at the manner at which the issue of NSAS campaign was tackled by the government. Afenifere, which also commended the United Kingdom Parliament over the bold debate on NSAS malady, emphasized that the decision to sanction top officials of a supposed democratic government in Nigeria behaving like a junta is a welcome development. Wow. They yarned, they talked, they've been talking, and they have never actually reduced their voice. They did not off the mic at all. The mic is very loud. I'm talking about the Afeniferes. I'm talking about the Southwestern Social Cultural Group. I'm talking about Yinka Odumakin himself. He has been talking. His mic is very loud. He has not reduced it at all. And he's saying, look, while we're talking about this border closure, the northern border has been opened. Let's take a retrospect. Sometimes let's look at this thing objectively. Let's not, when people say it's bigotry, this is not bigotry. This is fact finding. Now let's take a retrospect. Let's see if Afenifere, or better still, if Yinka Odumakin is actually talking on the grounds of being a tribal bigot, or if he's looking at facts and figures the way it is and is analyzing it the way it ought to be. But let's take a retrospect now. Very quick, a quick one. Some months back, we during the lockdown COVID-19, a lot of this, I think somewhere in Enugu border, and also somewhere also in Rivers border, interstate border, they caught some young guys. They were looking malnourished. Young guys, all young guys. These COVID-19 security guys, they kept on interstate borders to ensure that there is no movement, interstate movement. When they caught them, they couldn't speak English. They had to like break the pidgin down to very, so that you can at least make some reasonable communication. Lo and behold, they said they were from Niger. They asked the question, Niger, how did you enter? They said they entered from the northern part of Nigeria. They found their way to the northern part, took transport from the northern part into the southern part, which invariably, I'm not looking at the COVID-19 protocol thing. I'm looking at the fact that while we were on interstate lockdown, the northern borders were opened. What they said, flies should not pass through semi-border or the southern borders. Not only are flies passing through the northern border, human beings are passing, cows are passing, everything is passing. Now, if you're saying that we want to protect the farmers so that we can be strictly indigenous, I support the idea of indigenous policy. No. God knows I love the idea because it will help our farmers, like even the farmers that are already saying that the way Christmas is going, they'll be selling 10,000 naira per chicken. Well done. Now that they've given people opportunity now to do these things so that we will encourage a subsistence, commercial farming and integrated farming, you have decided to now want to make Nigerians look for ways to import. But by the time they start importing, it is still the same farmers that will start shouting they're importing it, they're not encouraging local goods. Because the local farmers are even making it very wonderful. Yes, they will say there are no crops. That how are other people doing it? The grains. How are those foreigners doing it? They will now finish doing the necessary thing and import it and will buy at a cheaper rate. Now, looking at the whole thing is going. You just find out that this thing is not auguring well. He is now insisting. Now, things are so expensive. Our borders are closed. Now, for equal accountability's sake, for equal representation, so that the law will not be for some persons and above some persons, or beneath some persons, let's open the borders or shut it equally. Nigerians, just some hours ago, Governor Nyesom Wike talked about the issue of restructuring. Everybody's talking about restructuring. The only option apart from secession is actually restructuring. Already, there seem to be unrests in the country. There are no jobs. Youth have tasted kidnap. Now it's like quick money to them. It's so quick for them now that they are now thinking every other time to see how they can kidnap. It's now a fast money. Our security agencies are trying, but honestly, because of the level of poverty, because of the level of hunger in the land and lack of job and the restiveness in the states, in the country, it's making you to look for alternative means of survival. Imagine people who have become graduates and there are no jobs. They've been doing all manner of keke, bike riding, taxi business, and at the end of the day, they are seeing the people the governors, or rather the politicians, living larger than life, and the populists, the masses, are living in abject poverty. It can't continue this way. The level of unrest will increase. It will get worse by the day. And I think the best way apart from community policing, if we still want to maintain this country called Nigeria, restructuring is actually the order of the day. Else, a lot of voices are already shouting secession. Just like Pastor Enoch Adejare Adeboye said, that's the General Overseer of the Redeemed Christian Church of God. He said something very unique, and I think about that. They said, why don't we make Nigeria United States of Nigeria? As in where all the states are seen as United Nations of Nigeria, where each state is like a nation. And he said, look, why don't we merge the two rules of law, the American rule of law and the British rule of law, so that we will have a parliament, we also have a minister, we have a prime minister, we also have a president, and divide the power into two equal halves, so that not one person have the whole power. He made a lot of sense in analysis. And the way this is going, the government really needs to listen to the people. But the question now is, moving down to restructuring, don't you think we're going to give more power more power to this governors and to the states. Thereby, they will now become the Indian Army of their state. We take a typical example of what we saw in Imo State, where the government, the lawmakers, or should I say mistakenly, gave so much power to the governor by what's that law they made where he can arrest for his pleasure. These are the things we're talking about. These are the negative effects of when you have corrupt leaders in terms of affairs. Let's just hope, but let's take it a step at a time. That's what we're going to wrap it up. Let's meet in that comment section. What do you think about what